Hey guys, what's up? It's Danielle. So welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to be doing a planner update for you guys. Now, I would just like to mention that this is all encompassing. So I'm going to go through absolutely everything that I have updated. And also I'm doing laundry right now. So if you can hear any part of that, I apologize. But I've been keeping all of my planner stuff in this Eagle Creek packet cube. And I really do love these. They're very sturdy, very well made. And I got this from like the Container Store, I think 2 years ago. So I love this because it has a handle, so I can just throw everything in here. And then if I'm going to work, or if I'm just coming home from somewhere, or if I just want to work on my planner somewhere else besides my office, I can just grab this and it has everything that I need. And it all fits in here really nicely. So all I have is this little photo case, and then I have my actual planner, which I'm going to take out, and I'll show you guys what I updated in a minute. But this is a 5x7 photo case, and I thought that this was a good idea, at least for me anyways, just because I do like to carry a couple of different things. So I have a Filofax ruler, which is from my personal size that I was using as a wallet before. And then I have all of my most used writing utensils. So I have Papermate Inkjoy Gel in 0.5. And then I also have a gray mild liner. I'm actually using a Friction in 0.7 in my my monthly calendars. So you'll see that. And then this is my favorite pen right now. It's the Pilot Precise V5 RT, and this is, I believe, in 0.5 as well. And this is another one. It's just a Pilot Precise V5 RT in hot pink. And then I have a Sharpie in ultra fine point. And then I also have a Papermate pencil with 0.5 lead. This is like a little pair of tweezers that I use as like craft tweezers. So when I'm putting a sticker down, I like to use that instead, just so that it'll be a little bit more accurate and I can actually place it the right way, because otherwise it'll drive me crazy. I do have some Post-its. These are my favorite. They're just the plain white, super sticky ones. And that is everything that I like to keep with me. So now we're going to get into my planner and how that's changed. So it has gotten a little bit bulkier, and you will see why. So right when I open it, this is what it looks like. Still pretty much the same as last time. I still have the same dashboard, and I still have some stamps right here. These are just some hot pink Post-its that I had from earlier that are on the back of a divider that I cut down. So there's that. Now, I redid my sections, but before we get into all of that, this is what it looks like when you first open it. So I have some page flags over here that I was using before, and I'm just saving them because you never know. And then this is like the TÜL sticky note set, and I thought it was nice because the colors are really muted, and I apologize for the lighting, but this was the best that I could do. And then the best thing is that after I use all of these, I can actually use what they came on, because this is really nice and sturdy as well. So I have an arc zip pouch right here. And this is actually what I'm using to house all of my Post-its. Now, before I would have Post-its in every single section spread throughout my planner, so that if I needed to find a specific one, I wasn't really able to find it that quickly. So I just decided to start putting them all in here. This is also where I'll keep like grocery lists and things like that before I actually end up going to the store. And then this I ended up getting from a doctor's office a couple years ago. If you guys have been with me for a while, it should look familiar. But I am back with the Arc black dividers, and these are my favorite just because they're so durable. And if I say something is durable, that means it really is, because I tend to be very rough with things, even though I try not to be. But I redid my sections, like I said. So I have RAM dump, which is like brain dump, but you'll see why I call it that in a minute. DWMA, which is daily, weekly, monthly, annual, which is just my calendars, personal development, reference, projects. And then you can see there is another one right here. And I'm kind of experimenting with that and thinking of having a section just for pre-planning. So RAM dump is basically brain dump. But the reason why I call it that is actually because I've used this in the past and I really do love it. But this is by Kathy Paw, who is she's like a productivity coach or something like that. And if you Google Kathy Paw RAM dump, there's a free PDF that'll pop up. Her last name is spelled Paauw. And basically, these are just questions to ask yourself to like get the ball rolling, make you think of things that, you know, you have to get done. So maybe, you know, things that you've been putting off, and this goes on for quite a few pages. So that's why I prefer to call it RAM dump instead of brain dump. But anyways, going back to the beginning of this section, I have some purple Post-its. These are what I use for my grocery lists and like any little random things that I need to do or that I need to remind myself of. And then right here, I have a little sticky note that's from the Martha Stewart little sticky note set from Staples. I'm not sure if they still have this. And then you guys have seen these before. This is like my running to-do list, but the difference is that these things are more involved. So they take more time, they require more of my attention, more of my energy, and they are, you know, of more importance as well. And these are by TÜL as well. They're just the to-do list from the to-do list pad. And then I have a spare one ready to go because I'm almost out. And then these are TÜL to-do pages, and this is how I've been doing my RAM dump, brain dump, whatever you want to call it. So I'll have kind of like a trigger word over here in the left-hand column, and then over here in the right, I'll kind of like flesh it out. So for example, for Amazon, I have to return and exchange something. I need to get a new membership at Sam's Club, and then for Costco, I need to get a card because I'm going to be using my mom's account. So it's just stuff like that. And I think it's easier for me if I just split it up this way. But behind that, I have a list of things to buy. And after that, these are things that I need to buy, but this is more seasonal stuff. So these are things that I don't buy quite often. You know, I don't always think of buying them. And I don't want to have, you know, next winter come up and then I'm like, wait, I don't have any candles. So then I have to run out and get them then. This way I'm able to plan it out a little bit better so that if there's like a sale or something, I can get them at a decent price. These are planner updates that I'm thinking of making. And then again, we have the RAM dump section or RAM dump pages. All right, the next section is my calendar section or DWMA. And I have this sticker that I got from Paper Source. It just says, good things are coming. And I like it because it's hollow. And I just thought it was really cute. And then on this divider that I cut down, I have some of my favorite Post-its. So I have the white super sticky ones, and then I have the gray grid ones, which you can get at Target, and they're from the Post-it Noted line. But these are the dividers that I like to use to cut down, and they're perfect if you want to use them as sort of like a fly leaf or anything like that. But these are the best ones that I've found because they are incredibly clear. And there's quite a few of them in that pack. So behind that, I just have a little page of quotes. And then we get into my annual calendar, which came with the TÜL inserts that I bought at the beginning of this year. I have this little paper clip that is from a couple of years ago. I think I got it at like TJ Maxx or something. It came in a set. And then we get into my monthlies. So I love the TÜL monthlies, like I said in my last planner video, because it has this right before you get to the monthly. So there's like a to-do list, there's emails to send, and then there's also a little spot for your goals. So what's changed on here is honestly not a whole lot. I did mention that I am using the Pilot Friction pen, and that is true. But another thing that I'm doing is I'm also adding in certain things like when to change my air filter for my house. I do that every 6 weeks. So I try to keep it exact. So I do like to write that in. And then these are little stickers by Avery, and they are, where did I leave them? Here we go. They are the Avery 5412s. They're very, very small, as you can see, and they're handwrite only. So what I've been doing is I've been taking a stencil that I have, and I've just been putting a little star, and then I'll write in the person's name, and that's how I know if that person has a birthday for that month or that day or whatever. And I don't track anything like bills to be paid on here or anything like that, because that gets tracked in a separate calendar, in a separate planner that I will share with you guys at some point. I'm hoping in the near future. It's part of like my whole pre-planning thing, but I just like to keep this very simplistic because I tend to get very carried away with adding information. So I'm going to take off this little clip, which I don't know where this is from. My mom gave it to me, but it's just a little duck and it says hello. So I just thought that was cute. So I'm going to show you guys what my weeklies have been looking like, and then I'll show you what I've been doing so far this week. So this is what last week looked like for me. And, there's nothing inherently wrong with it, but it's very rudimentary. So in the little title section, I guess, for the day, I've been putting little notes up there, and then I didn't have a mild liner with me, so I was just like checking things off as I did them and putting an X next to them if I didn't, arrows for migrating tasks, and I didn't really like that. So I decided to do something completely different, and that is how, I came up with this. So I split all of the days into 3 different sections, and I'm still kind of playing around with it a little bit, but I figured it would be nice because then I can have a section for to-dos, one for like appointments, and then any kind of like notes, if something happened or if there's like something I need to get for that appointment, whatever. And then the last one is just for notes in general. So I like this idea because then I'm not able to fill up an entire page or an entire day with just stuff for me to do. I have to be, very particular about the tasks that I do put in my planner, and they all have to be things that are more of a priority, if that makes sense. So it's not going to be something like really random or just like little tiny tasks. Like they have to be things that have, I guess, a little bit more substance. So I'll get into this in a second, but for my bookmark, I just have another piece of one of those dividers that I cut up, and I did create a tab at the top, and then I punched it. And I do like this because it is clear, but it's also very thin. So I'm still able to find my page and, go from there. So these are actually part of a pack that are from TÜL. They are the TÜL business card pages. Comes with 3 pages, and there are 8 per page. So 4 on the top, 4 on the bottom. And let me just take this out to show you guys because there's a glare. I apologize. But I'm using this for all of my tasks. And it's not just tasks. Like I have opening duties, closing duties, and then I have weekly tasks. I also have bi-weekly tasks. And then this I'll get into in a minute. I have my planning, I guess you could call it like my planning routine. And then I have weekly tasks, and then I have bill due dates. So I got this idea because I was so tired of flipping back and forth between pages and in different sections looking for this information if I needed it. And I thought it would just be better if I had it all in one spot. And I thought that this was the best way for me to do that. So the gray little business cards are actually from Paper Source, and they come like this. You can buy them in different colors. And that's not to say that you have to go to Paper Source for these, but I was just there and I noticed it and I thought it was perfect. So that's what I wrote all of my stuff down or stuff on. And aside from this one, this is like stuff that I didn't do during the week that needs to get done still, but I don't want to forget about it. And I don't want it to like get lost in my pages. So I just have been putting it on a regular note card that I cut down that I already had. And I don't want to use like the little business cards because I don't live that close to a Paper Source. So anyways, that's just what's been working for me. But up here, opening duties are like things that I do every morning to get the ball rolling, get my day started. And there are things that I try to do at least every day. Sometimes I have to let it slide for whatever reason, but generally I try to do them every day. So it's stuff like cleaning the cat litter, taking my meds, and then going into my planner to see what I have to do for the day. And then on a survival day, that means it's like a day when I'm, having a bad day or something like that, I will only take my meds. Closing duties is the exact opposite. This is like stuff to set up the next day. And honestly, it's stuff like doing the dishes, packing my lunch for work, and then also going into my planner. And then on a survival day, I would just pack my lunch. Weekly tasks are pretty self-explanatory. I have the days of the week in Italian over here. And then bi-weekly tasks, again, pretty self-explanatory. I already explained that to you guys. And then you also know what that is as well. My monthly tasks, I have them split up into categories. So you'll see P, H, M, and P is for planner, H is for home, M is for me. And then just bill due dates, just pretty self-explanatory. But I really love having this because even though I'm not able to see the entire week all at once, I am still able to refer back to this stuff very quickly. And the best part to me is that I don't have to run around to different sections of my planner, looking for all of this information. So now we get into personal development, and I have these large grid Post-its, just, in case I have ideas or something like that. And then I printed out my goals for this year just because it looks nicer. This I made in Canva, and it's kind of like my mantra for recovery from my eating disorder. And then I have my Let's Talk About It pages, which I did share with you guys before. And I literally just drew a taco, put the words around it. Really, really adorable way to just, get your thoughts out on a page. And I have a very hard time remembering what I want to ask doctors, so it works out really well for me. I also have a topics page. These are the topics that I really want to research and read about that I haven't gotten around to yet because I spent all my time reading about World War II. And then I have some ADHD things to work on. I have some eating disorder recovery progress. And then I also have like things to work on. So I haven't filled this out yet, but I have fitness, recovery, finances, and planner. And then behind that, I don't have thought I had my recovery progress, but I guess not. All right. After that, I have my projects tab and reference tab, I was going to say. So these are just things that I want to watch, and I just have the title here, what platform it's on. So like N is for Netflix, and then Y is YouTube, A is Amazon. And then if it applies, I also have the release date for it. And then these are upcoming movies, basically the same idea. And then there's a blank one. And then this is just like when to send out, you know, cards for like people's birthdays or holidays or whatever. And then this is how I'm tracking my vacation. It's very similar to how I was doing it before, but it just looks nicer, more streamlined. So I have all my different types of vacation listed out and then just the days that I've taken. And then on the back of that, I have my pay schedule. So this is like every time that I get paid, just a blank page. And then this I actually got from a therapist on TikTok, and it's for people who are neurodivergent or they have executive dysfunction like I do because of my ADHD, or, you know, if you have depression or anxiety or anything that, you know, makes cleaning your house more difficult for you. These are like things to remember. There's only 5 things in every room. There's trash, dishes, laundry, things that have a place in that space, and things that do not have a place in that space. So it's just a really nice way to kind of keep you, you know, going instead of you getting like overwhelmed and having to stop. And then I have like tax info, like forms that I need pretty much every year. I have a list of car snacks because I am in recovery from my eating disorder. I do still have days where I don't eat enough. So I keep snacks in my car, and I just like to keep a running list of ideas for it. And then behind that, I have some ideas for tattoos that I'm not going to share. All right, now we're in my projects section. And these pages I just made myself. They're just 9 boxes. But what I like about this is that I can basically put like what I need to get done. So for example, I need to fix the walls in my showers, and I need to get drywall primer for them, and I also need to paint them. Another example is like my attic. I need to insulate the door to my attic and put a gasket around it. So it's just a nice way to kind of like flesh out some of that stuff. And then I did the same thing with organization. So for example, in my master closet, I need to organize my purses, my wallets, hair stuff, and ironing stuff. You get the idea. I have one for social media, and then these are just project notes from ARC that I have yet to use, but I do like to have them in here. And then the very last section, like I said, is for pre-planning. I'm still kind of playing around with this, but I do like the idea, so I think I'm going to stick with it. These pages are from a little planner pad that I got from the Target dollar spot, and this is for next week. So anything that I think of or anything that pops up, I will put it on here so that I don't automatically like ruin, I guess, the next week's inserts. And yes, I realize this is tapping into my perfectionism, but I don't really care. So I really like this because it kind of gets me thinking, and, you know, there's like an actual spot for it. And then behind that, I have important dates. So these are only for things that are like out of the ordinary. You know, they're not birthdays, they're not anniversaries or any kind of holidays. This is for stuff like I have a friend that's getting married, my brother's graduating from college, and I'll hit 1 year in recovery from my eating disorder in August. All right, behind that, I have my upcoming appointments. These are ones that are happening like within the next couple of weeks, which is why they're on here. And so it just says prossimi appuntamenti, which means upcoming appointments in Italian. And then I have these up here in Spanish. So persona, razón, fecha, tiempo, person, reason, why I'm seeing them, and then the date and the time. And then behind that, like on the back, I have a Post-it, and these are upcoming appointments that are like a few months away, or in that case, like next year. I'm planning out what I want to do for my birthday this year. I want to start doing it every year. So I drew very poorly this cupcake, and I am just putting like ideas around it for things that I can do. So, or like places I can go, you know, starting to think about what I might want to buy if I put a store on here, that kind of thing, you know. And then behind that, I just have different types of blank paper just in case. And the very last thing I have is another one of those dividers that I cut up. So anyways, that is absolutely everything. And excuse me, I hope you guys really enjoyed seeing all of the updates I've made. I want to start doing these at least once a month for you guys. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I love you all, and I will talk to y'all in my next video. Bye, guys.